morning. I've just rolled out of bed and I'm planning my day, and today we're just gonna get ready for the shop launch that I'm gonna be having on the 26th. And today we're gonna be doing product photos, so I figured I'd take you around of what it's like to prepare for a shop launch. So yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've actually posted anything to YouTube because I am still not quite in that mindset of like vlogging and stuff like that. But I thought it would be really fun. It's such a pretty day out today. Um, but yeah, I thought it'd be fun to do some stuff. So let's go. I like to write everything down in my planner, and today the main things of attack are packing orders, taking product photos, and of course straightening my hair, doing my hair, all that good stuff. So light is actually really nice in my bedroom, so I'm gonna do product photos up here on my little green table. Most of my product photos, I actually use what's around my house. So I have a bag of moss with a pine cone I found in my yard. I have a jawbone that my friend gave to me with some fake greenery. I also use crystals that I own. I have a labradorite and a smoky quartz. And then I also printed out a stock photo of wood, and this is the background to all of my photos. So surprise, I don't actually have a really cool wood table that I photograph on, but yeah, I'll show you how I set up a sticker, for example. I'm just gonna rest it right on this little vial. It's a little difficult to do one-handed. But yeah, so then when you take the photo, you have all of this interest happening in the background, but it's enough that it kind of keeps this the main focus. And it's nice because these are like contrasting colors, so it really pops against this background. But I'm gonna do this for every single one of my paintings and my sticker. Keep things pretty simple when it comes to the bookmarks, but it's still really pretty, and you're really only going to see the book in its entirety where it's going to be cut off here and here, so you're not actually going to see the green border or really this here, but it's kind of there as like a little fail-safe. So I really like that, and I'm just gonna put all of the bookmarks in and take all of their photos. Next is editing, and for this I actually already have a preset that I have pretty much made, and I can paste onto any image and then just kind of go from there, but I will explain how I actually edit my images and show you the entire process. I'm gonna go ahead and start editing this picture. I'm pretty happy with it compared to the other one. Let's see, this one's sharper, so I'm actually gonna take this one, and the first thing that I always start with is cropping it. I don't like there to be too much of a negative space in the photo, so I crop it accordingly. I always shoot a little bit wider and just make sure that there's extra space, just so I can do that and bring it in tighter. Now that I have it cropped how I want it, the first thing that I always start with, no matter what, is the lighting. Now, I am actually a professional wedding photographer outside of Etsy. So I have a certain style that I tend to go for with all of my photographs. So I'm somebody that really enjoys rich colors, something more contrasty, things like that. So I'm pretty happy with the exposure overall. I do like a little bit more contrast, and I'm actually going to bring the highlights down just a bit because I really don't like when the highlights are very, very bright. But I'm gonna try and keep it as true to the image as I possibly can. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the shadows up just a little, and I think I feel good with that. Now, I really like to play with the curves, and this actually kind of gives the style that I have a tendency to do. So I really like having these kind of matte blacks whenever I photograph, and of course it's gonna look crazy now, but it's kind of a trust the process type deal. But I like to try and go for like a film sort of look with photos. So this is the before and after. It just looks a lot richer to me, and it's just, I don't know, I like it. So, you know, that's usually what I go for. Once I'm happy with the lighting, I'm gonna move on to the colors. Now I try not to play with like the warmth too much, or anything like that, like the actual temperature. But sometimes, just depending, I will mess with the tint just a little bit. But really, a lot of the play is going to be in the vibrancy and the saturation. And I only bring the vibrancy up just a little bit. I tend to actually desaturate things because the vibrancy and the saturation, it just, sometimes it can be a little too much. So I try to find the right combination of everything, to still make it kind of true to what the actual product looks like. But I think I'm actually pretty happy with this. Once I find something that I really like, I kind of just stick with it. And then the other thing that I like to do is also bring up the sharpness. I bring it up quite a lot, just so it's nice and crystal clear. But yeah, that's pretty much how I edit my photos. So when I'm done, I'm actually going to go ahead and save a copy to the device, and I'm also going to copy the settings. So then that way I have all of these settings saved, and then I can just apply it to the next photo. So I'm happy with that as my cover photo, and then we're going to go into the next image, crop it in like so, and now that I have that preset made, we go ahead and pop it in, and then I'll make adjustments accordingly. Like this one's a little too dark for my liking, so I'm actually going to bring up the exposure just a hair, and my fingers are actually really red, so I'm gonna go to, where is it, the masking, and we're gonna select a brush here, and I'm just gonna draw over my fingers and kind of bring that saturation down, because those are going to be some details that, you know, it's going to bother me. I know when somebody looks at the photos, when they go to actually purchase the item, it's not going to really affect that person, you know, making a decision, but to me, it's gonna make an impact. So I'm just gonna do that, and it looks way better in comparison. So I'm just gonna do that to all of my photos, and yeah. So this takes anywhere between, I want to say, 10 to 30 minutes depending on how much I want to do the photos. Tomorrow I think I'm going to kind of show you guys what it's like to do the listings for Etsy, and show that aspect of preparing for a shop launch. But yeah, I like taking photos and everything. It's fun kind of thinking of ways to display products and everything. I eventually will get to redoing every single photo in my store, because a lot of the earlier product photos are really bad, I'm not gonna lie. So, you know, that's something that I plan on doing. But for now, I'm gonna head to work. It's 3:38 and I gotta go pick up my dinner so that way I can bring it into work and then eat later on. So bye. It quite literally feels like fall today, so I am taking Junie to the park. She loves it here. Don't ya? Little baby. So this morning I was talking to some friends, and I was just talking about therapy and being a work in progress and everything. So I wanted to turn it into a sticker, and I think a Ouija board with like a moth would be really cool, and having the actual drawing be unfinished would be pretty neat. And I'm just sketching while little bee over there is playing away, sniffing around, doing her little thing. She has been loving life. Go over what it is to make a listing. Right now I'm making listings for my mini paintings, and I'm just gonna show you what I do to make that whole thing. Start any listing, I actually will put in what the item actually is. So how it starts out with mini painting, that's a good way for me to kind of see what each thing is, because I do sell stickers and magnets, and be quite honest, they look exactly the same. So you don't know what something could be unless you really read the description. Most people will tend to not read the entire description, so I make sure to put what the item actually is. So if it's a sticker, I'll put sticker. If it's a magnet, I'll put a magnet. If it's a notebook, I'll put a notebook. Even though they can visually see, like, yeah, that's a notebook, I like to have it there for additional just confirmation as to what it could be. When it comes to the title, I kind of just go through and think, what would I be searching for if I was looking for a certain item on Etsy? So the first thing we're gonna do is the jack-o'-lantern painting, and we're gonna put that in. Jack-o'-lantern painting. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in Halloween mini painting. Then we can put in horror mini painting, acrylic painting. Think of all of the descriptors that you would put in to find something on Etsy. Basically, pretend you are shopping right now. This is what I have landed on. So we've done jack-o'-lantern painting, Halloween mini painting, cute spooky mini painting magnet, acrylic mini painting magnet. The description, I'm actually going to copy and paste the title into the description, so that way people can actually find what it is they're looking for. This kind of helps Etsy with their search engine. The more that this is listed, the better. The base description that I use, now this is for one of my regular magnets that I sell, but this is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to need to list the medium that is in there and the correct dimensions of the actual painting. But when it comes to the description, you really want to put as much as you can in here. Now, most people are not going to read it. I've been guilty of that myself. But just in case people have questions, they can kind of go back and like look at the description and just be like, oh, okay, so this is going to be a 2x2 painting. It's on acrylic, all of that stuff. So try to get descriptive as you can in here. Also, just putting people's expectations, what they can expect, is also really good. sometimes people can kind of come up with things that aren't really there. They think something's smaller than what it is or bigger than what it is, or you know, say if you have something that's going to ship separately, for example, you want to have that listed here and you want to have it big. You can't really do bold lettering, but I've used emojis in the past to kind of draw attention to something. So that's something that you want to do in your description, and I will show you what it looks like at the end. Here we go. So we have, it is what the name is. This is for one jack-o'-lantern mini painting, and we're also mentioning how they're only decorative magnets. We've changed the dimensions, we've added that it's acrylic on canvas, and then just general things, what to expect, and to also know that the magnets may not be strong enough to hold paper, so it's mainly for decorative use, but you never know. Price and the quantity, of course there is going to be one because these are original paintings, and then I just go down and add my shipping information and my tags. Tags, you just want to do the same thing. Pretend you are shopping on Etsy right now, kind of go through and put in all of the keywords, and one thing that's really important to do is to actually put your shop name in the tags, so that way people can actually find you. Say somebody does type in Celestial Woods, if you don't do that, then you know none of your stuff is gonna pop up, so make sure to always put your shop name in your tags. Everything is done, and this is what the draft section of Etsy looks like. So now the beautiful thing that I finally figured out after 3 years is you can copy a listing, and when you copy the listing, ta-da, everything is filled in, and then you just have to edit accordingly. So I'm gonna do this 4 more times, and yeah, and then after that you add your photos and post, and that's really it. That's pretty much everything that I do for a shop launch. It's not really too much, but the listings is really the most time consuming portion of any Etsy launch. So that little copy feature is just a blessing. I love it. So I'm gonna finish these up, and I just hope that you guys had fun just kind of hanging out and watching, and you know, I'm excited to do more vlogs this year. Maybe we'll do a Vlogmas. I won't hold myself to that yet, but we'll see how it goes. Especially if we do like a week of like creativity, or even a Vlogoween, that would be even better in my opinion, because fall is my favorite season. And Christmas is my birthday, and I'm like really busy with Christmas. So yeah. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye!